The shuttle touched down on the quiet landing field of the Emerald World, its engines calming into a low hum as the dust settled. A tall human soldier stepped out, his posture steady, his armor marked with scratches from weeks of travel. His name was Rowan, a simple name for a man who had endured far more than most would ever know. In his arms rested a young alien girl wrapped in a thin silver cloak, her breathing light, her arms clinging to him with a mix of fear and trust. Her name was Leary, and she looked far too small for the weight of the journey she had survived. Rowan stood still for a breath as the cool air touched his face. Far across the field rose the towering palace of the alien queen, its crystal spires catching the light of the planet's twin suns. Guards in white armor lined the entrance, their spears glowing with soft energy as they looked toward the human who approached with careful steps. Rowan walked forward, not with the posture of a conquering soldier, but with the quiet confidence of a man carrying something precious. He had not come here for pride. He had come because he promised someone he would bring the girl home. The guards watched him, confused at first, then deeply alert as they noticed the faint royal emblem hidden in the cloak around Leary's shoulders. One guard stepped forward, voice trembling. "Is that the young heir?" Rowan nodded. Her location was discovered on a distant moon. She was alone but alive. "I brought her back." The guard swallowed hard. The queen believed she was gone. Forever. She has mourned every cycle since. Rowan tightened his hold on Leary. Then call her. She should hear her daughter's voice herself. The guard turned and rushed inside. Rowan waited at the entrance, shifting his weight carefully so he would not disturb the girl resting on him. She slowly opened her eyes, looking up at him with the same mix of wonder and relief she had shown since he first found her. "Are we safe now?" she asked quietly. "You are home," Rowan said. "That is the safest place for you." She nodded and hid her face against his chest again. He gently rested a hand on her back. She had survived too much fear for someone her age, but he had seen the spark of courage in her each day of their journey. A moment later, the palace doors swung open. A group of royal attendants hurried out, but none ran as fast as the tall woman at the center. She wore flowing robes of deep blue that shimmered with thin lines of light, and her silver hair trailed behind her as she moved with the desperation of a parent who had lived too long in sorrow. This was Queen Alira. Her breath caught as she saw Rowan carrying the small figure wrapped in silver. "Leary," she whispered. The girl lifted her head. "Mom, I'm back. He saved me." The queen stumbled forward, overwhelmed, tears forming before she could fully reach them. Rowan carefully lowered Leary into her mother's arms. The queen clutched her daughter, as if afraid the world might steal her again. She pressed her forehead to Leary's and held her close, trembling with emotion. "My child, my light, I thought you were lost. I searched every star. I never stopped searching." Rowan stepped back, giving them space, his tired eyes soft with relief. Leary reached out with one small hand and caught his wrist. "Don't go yet," she said. He knelt beside her. "I'm here." Queen Alira looked at him, her eyes shining with gratitude and heartbreak. "Human soldier, you crossed dangerous space to bring her home. Why would you risk your life for a daughter that is not your own?" Rowan exhaled slowly. "When I found her, she was calling for help. No one else heard her voice, but I did. That was enough." The queen touched Leary's cheek, then faced Rowan again. "I owe you more than words can express." "You don't owe me anything," he said. "She deserves to be with her family." Alira studied him, surprised by the quiet sincerity of his tone. The guards around them lowered their weapons as a gentle calm filled the air. But there was something else behind the queen's eyes, not suspicion, not fear, but the deep weight of someone who had survived endless worry and had finally found the one who changed her fate. "Please," she said, straightening. "Come inside. You traveled far. You must rest." Rowan hesitated. The palace was grand and unfamiliar, a place far beyond his simple upbringing on Earth. But Leary looked at him with hopeful eyes. "Stay," she whispered. Rowan nodded. "Only for a little while." Inside the palace, warmth filled every hallway. Light pulsed in soft patterns along the walls, and attendants hurried to prepare rooms. Yet the queen refused to hand Leary to anyone else. She carried her daughter close, unwilling to release her even for a moment. Rowan walked beside them, feeling strangely out of place among the silken floors and glowing gardens. Yet Leary kept reaching for him, tugging at his sleeve, reminding him he was not forgotten, that she guided him to the center of the palace, where soft light radiated from a crystal dome overhead. The queen set Leary on a cushioned seat. "Tell me," she said softly, "how did you survive until this human found you?" Leary looked at Rowan first, as if asking for permission to speak. Rowan gave a gentle nod. "I hid," Leary said, "for many days. I didn't know where I was, only that I had to keep moving. I called out, hoping someone would hear me. Then one day he appeared. He gave me water. He helped me walk. He carried me when I was tired." Alira's voice wavered. "You must have been so scared." "I was," Leary said, "but he was with me. He didn't let me feel alone." The queen turned to Rowan again. "Your world and mine have known each other only through uneasy agreements and distant treaties. Yet you saved the child of your potential rival without hesitation." Why? Rowan looked down at his hands. "Earth has seen its share of hardship. We learned that if someone needs help, you give it, not because of treaties or politics, because it is the right thing." Alira's expression softened. She rose to her feet and approached him. "Many speak of the courage of humans. I have heard countless stories, but seeing it with my own eyes is different." Rowan shifted, embarrassed. "I'm no hero." "You brought a daughter back to her mother," Alira said. "That is the greatest act someone can do." Leary slid off her seat and walked to Rowan again. She took his hand boldly. "He is my hero." Rowan gave her a small smile. "I only kept my promise." Weeks earlier, when Rowan found her in the ruins of an abandoned station, she had been trembling, hungry, and terrified. She had looked up at him and whispered one thing: "Please don't leave me." He remembered kneeling down, offering a hand, and saying, "I won't." Now, standing in the palace, that memory warmed his chest. The queen stepped forward once more. "Human soldier, I must ask something that pains me. Did you see anyone else near her when you found her?" Rowan shook his head. "She was alone. I checked every area of the station. There were signs of struggle, but no one else." Alira closed, her eyes steadying herself. "Thank you. That answer gives me closure." They moved to a quiet dining hall, where foods of soft color and gentle aroma were placed before them. Rowan ate little, still feeling like he was intruding in a world not meant for him. Leary, however, clung to his side as if afraid he would vanish. After the meal, the queen guided Rowan to a high balcony overlooking the glowing landscape. The sky shone with swirling patterns of blue and green, and floating creatures drifted like gentle lanterns. "This world owes you a great debt," Alira said. "What reward would you accept?" "None," Rowan replied. "I only want to see her safe." The queen gazed at him with quiet wonder. "Humans are unusual. You carry strength and gentleness in equal measure. Few in the galaxy understand how rare that is." Rowan gave a faint shrug. "We just try to do what's right?" "Then allow me to give you something that is right as well," Alira said. A place in this palace for as long as you wish. You will be honored here. Rowan shook his head. I can't stay. Earth needs me. Leary's voice surprised them, both as she stepped onto the balcony. But you saved me. I don't want you to go yet. Rowan knelt before her. You are strong now. You have your mom. That's what matters. Leary's eyes filled with quiet sadness. She wrapped her arms around his neck. He hugged her gently, letting her lean into him until her breathing steadied. The queen watched with warmth and respect. He changed her whole world, Alira thought. When Rowan finally rose, he looked out at the horizon. I should return. To my ship, my duty calls. Alira placed a hand over her heart. Then go with honor, Rowan of Earth. You'll always be welcome here. Leary grabbed his hand once more. Will you visit, if your mom allows it? Rowan said with a soft smile. The queen nodded. You will always be received as family. Rowan bowed his head in thanks. Then he walked with Leary and the queen to the entrance of the palace. The shuttle waited. As the doors opened, Leary whispered, Mom, can I say one more thing? Alira nodded. Elira. I ran to Rowan and hugged him again. Thank you for hearing me when no one else did. Rowan touched her shoulder gently. Your voice mattered. It always will. The shuttle's engines warmed. Rowan stepped inside. Leary waved with both hands, and the queen placed an arm around her daughter's shoulders. The ship rose, carrying Rowan into the sky as the shuttle passed through the shimmering clouds. Queen Alira held Leary close and whispered, He saved you because compassion is in the heart of his people. Remember that always. Leary nodded. I will. Rowan watched the world fade beneath him, satisfied and calm. He had returned a child to her mother. He had kept his promise, and somewhere deep inside, he knew this moment would stay with him for the rest of his life. The stars welcomed him back as he set course for Earth, carrying the memory of a small voice that once wisped,